I teleported back to the church, where I left the counselor. I walked right over and sat right beside him, not caring that he was still tied and gagged. I tell him that the case is closed, and I will come back to destroy the temple and the site itself, when I get the necessary items. This is the perfect ending for this story. I sighed in relief and gave a paused look at the peaceful night sky through the windows, you know, for dramatic effect. I then mentioned there is flaw in the title. I looked away from the window and stared into his eyes. The title was, Catch the Criminal. I slid my butt over in front of the counselor, to have a face-to-face. In the beginning, there was an indication that I was in the Duke City for some reason, before he had me see him and do this side quest. Well, I was in the city, to catch a criminal. In fact, a person who happened to be in the Duke's castle. So, as you know, I help lost souls to move on. No matter how long ago it may be, some souls just can't move on, because some acts that caused their demise is strong. So strong, that they could refuse the ecstasy pull of the afterlight, and roam the land until justice is done, or a task needs to be finished. I reached into my bag, and pulled out a marker. I wrote a medium ward on his forehead, so he could see the restless spirits he had caused. As they started to appear in droves, I phased half his body into the church's stone wall. There, he'll spend the last hours of his life, reflecting the wrongs he has done to them. I pulled down his gag, then teleported away, leaving him to make his peace with his victims.
Time passes.
I was back where I had started, standing in the great hall in front of the Duke. I returned his royal carriage, with the Zuyu, and informed him and the royal counselors that I had solved the disappearance case. However, the Duke doesn't seem to be interested in that, and asked what had happened to his coin, his Curia Regis. I won't lie to him, I try not to make lying a habit, but I can't tell him the truth. I knew that any answers would be bad against me. Especially knowing how close they were. Go to war close. However, I knew this would have happened in the end, and I just want this story to be done so I could play another story. There was a reason I made a certain deal with him to take this case, and so I'll give him an answer he must keep, or he'll be forfeited. I invoked the law of no questions asked.